Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, KA Menopause Unfiltered. All right, so today I want to share with you in 2018, I had upper blepharoplasty. I could never say that word, don't know why. So for purposes of this video, upper blep, that will be the term that I will. All right, so I'm going to share the good, the bad, and the ugly. Would I do it again? Stick around till the end to find out. 54 years old, and I am really starting to see, like, my eyelids are heavy, hooded, etc. But the thing that was really bothering me the most, I would say, two things actually, was in the summertime, like the eyelid, the fold would get like sweaty and heavy, and it was really, really affecting my vision. It's like my eyelids constantly felt heavy. And then, of course, there was everyone, around, oh, you look tired. It depressed me. Like, here I am, just, I thought I went out the door looking good that day. And, everywhere I turn, everybody's telling me how tired I look. So I guess that was kind of like, where the vanity came in a little bit. And I just started really shopping around for surgeons. And I didn't interview numerous surgeons. I probably should have in hindsight. What I did was I went online, read a bunch of Google reviews, etc. Found one. It kind of came down to logistics, like he was close and reviews were pretty good as well. So I booked my consultation cost. Now keep in mind, this is pre-COVID. Okay, so it was $3,000 plus tax, which, you know, is really a small price to pay if you're going to start feeling better, like not having sweaty eyelids all the time and not having people tell you constantly how tired you look when you're not tired. So I slapped down $1,000 deposit and booked my surgery for, I don't know, like 45 days out or something. Keep in mind, I am going back 6 years here. These are my eyelids before, okay? And I'm going to share with you in this video every step along the journey until my stitches are removed, and then kind of like a month later as well. So 45 days comes up. I get there, I get to the office. I'm super excited to get my surgery. No more heavy, sweaty eyelids. So they give me a Valium, and I'm still sitting in the lobby. It was like an Ativan, just kind of calm me down, relax me. I wasn't like super, worried anyway. I don't know why, but I wasn't. But, at the same time, I'm about to get my eyelids cut open. So the Ativan was welcome. Let's just leave it at that. So 20 minutes later, the Ativan kicks in. That's all well and fine. And they take me upstairs. Now I'm laying out on a surgical bed. And I did have this done at the doctor's office. Okay. I didn't go to hospital to have it done. That also keeps the cost down. So I'm laying on the bed and he comes by. He starts talking to me a little bit. I kind of asked him, I said, you know what, do me a favor. I don't want you to explain a play-by-play of what you're doing. You don't need to. I just want you to do your thing. And my body is here, but my mind, because the power of the mind, right? Like if you're giving me a play-by-play, okay, we're just about to cut your eyelid open. My brain's like, I'm going to go in panic mode and freak out, right? So my body's here. It was on the table, but I wanted my brain in like Tahiti or something, right? Resting. So he didn't, verbalize a whole lot what he was doing throughout the surgery. He marks my eyelids with a black pen, or like a marker kind of thing. That was all well and fine. He sticks a couple of needles in my eyelids. This is probably honestly the worst part of the surgery. And it wasn't like, it wasn't a 10. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. But it was a definite like, ouch, that kind of thing. I get Botox twice a year. So it really wasn't worse than that. So he lets me lay on the table, don't quote me. I feel like it was 10, 15 minutes or whatever it was till my eyelids are completely frozen. Then he comes back, and this is where, the procedure starts. I keep the conversation minimal during it. I want to say I was on the table like 20 to 30 minutes. It really wasn't that long. He stitches me up. There I could feel like a slight tugging on my eyelids. During the course of him, cutting my eyes and doing whatever he was doing, sometimes they remove muscle and fat, so whether it was muscle or fat, I'm not sure what he was removing. Because all I know is it was excess skin, right, on my eyelids. Stitches me up, easy peasy, quite honestly. Slapped some ointment on it. He gave me some ointment to take home, and I was to keep that on my eyelids and return in 10 days for my stitches removal. So here I am. I've literally just walked out of the doctor's office and I'm still in the car in the parking lot of the doctor's office. And, I'm not traumatized. I'm like, mind you, I am still frozen at this point. And I believe that they gave me like a couple of T3s. It was nothing major that you need in terms of like pain medication or anything like that. I'm feeling fine because I'm obviously still frozen. So we get home and, I just relax and stuff. You're obviously not supposed to lay right down. You have to kind of sleep elevated for the first few days because you don't want all the blood flowing to your eyelids. And, you don't need extra swelling, trust me. Okay, so I'm going to just share with you. Here I am at nighttime, the night of the surgery. And things are starting to look a little worse at this point. I do have my head elevated, but sitting up all night and sleeping just is, probably not an option for me, right? So I sleep elevated. I wake up the next day and here I am, let's say like 24 hours after the surgery. And I'm feeling not too bad. Where I was really feeling, I guess, tortured was psychologically, like, what the bleep have I done to my face? I'm seeing like, these lines, they don't look even. I'm seeing like folds in the stitches. And not to mention obviously the discoloration, the purple, the swelling, and that I expected, but I was really, really freaking out that it didn't look like clean cut, I guess. It looked like kind of like cut, 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 cut. There were 3 or 4 cuts and you kind of mended them together or something. I'm trying to just, stay rational and calm and let my body heal and not freak out. Now, I did go out to restaurants because I was meeting my mom and my sister. And I think I was like 3 days later and I looked like this. And here I am putting my hat on to go out. Of course, I wore big shades like shades or Jackie O or something like that. The biggest sunglasses, darkest sunglasses I could find. I actually did take them off in the restaurant to eat because I really didn't care, right? Like I'm 54 years old. My eyelids need fixed. They need a lift. Whoopee. It's, people could stare away. I was probably traumatizing people in the restaurant a little bit, actually, in hindsight. Healing along quite nicely. The bruising, day 5, day 6, it starts to kind of go greenish yellow. As you can see here, I am now definitely heightened and freaking out about the folds in my eyelids. This, I am like regretting going to the surgeon. I'm just totally freaking out. I should have done more homework. I should have, paid more. I should have driven further, whatever I should have done, because this is my face, right? The objective was to look and feel better, not feel traumatized for the remainder of my life. Anyway, I'm just trying to deep breathe and do my best. And once again, here you can see, this is around day 6 or 7, something like that. And psychologically, I'm getting a little worn down. I'm counting down the days, till the 10-day return where I can go get my stitches removed. And that finally arrives. I get there and, I tell the doctor, listen, I'm not very happy with you. Like, I just felt like, maybe you were a little rushed or sidetracked or whatever, because I'm pretty sure he took a phone call during my surgery. And once again, I was coherent through the whole thing. He denied it. I disagree, but that's neither here nor there. Nevertheless, he assures me that everything is going to be fine, and that these bumps and all of these folds, and it looked like uneven cuts, that they would heal. So, and I'm going to fast track. The stitches come out. Here I am immediately after having my stitches out. I am still, once again, in the parking lot of the doctor's office. You can see that they're red and, like, obviously I just had my eyelids cut open, right? And part of my skin removed. So clearly they're going to be red. I wasn't freaked out about that. It was more like the lumpiness. And I also have to say, I was also a little upset as well because the shape of my eyes. I used to have more like, I'm not trying to sound vain or anything, but I used to have like really nice, pretty almond shaped eyes almost. And I felt like that was botched slightly. I now had more like just a round eye as opposed to like more, I don't know, the cat eye look or whatever. But, what am I going to do, right? What's done is done. And it wasn't like a travesty or anything. It was definitely different. If you never knew me, prior to surgery, you probably wouldn't notice it. And once again, I'm hypersensitive to this at this point. So I could have been overreacting slightly, although, you know, the shape did change. I'm trying to remain calm because really at this point, there's nothing I can do. So let me just, you know, skip forward a month later. Was I happy with the surgery? Yes, I was. I was 80% happy with my surgery. The reasons I wasn't happy with my surgery is one of my scars, like usually the scars are supposed to be right in the fold, right? So when you blink and your eyelids go up, the scars are hidden. They're right in there. One of my scars actually comes out here, and I'm going to actually take a picture and show you up here. It's once again, it's faded and nobody's staring at my eyelids that closely. Anyway, so I wasn't too happy about that. And this eyelid here, this one seemed to actually turn out better, even though it had the scar that kind of came out a little bit and didn't go into my crease. This eyelid wasn't as nice, I guess, as I was hoping. And in hindsight, I would have definitely asked him to remove more because here I am 6 years later. Once again, I'm going to take a picture with no makeup and show you, but I have a real like fat deposit right here and it's heavy as heck. And here, this eyelid's back down. So 6 years, $3,000. Now I know that the price has gone up like everything, and I believe it's now like $4,000 to $8,000, obviously depending where you are. Are you getting this done in LA? Are you getting this done in Ohio? And you know, the doctor that you're hiring, right? My brief recap is, would I do it again? The answer is 100% yes, because my eyelids do feel lighter. I don't look so tired. However, skip 6 years ahead, I look tired again, and my eyelids are starting to get like that heavy, sweaty feeling in the summer. Not as bad as, you know, 6 years ago when I had the surgery done, but I would have definitely shopped around for surgeons. I would have interviewed 3 surgeons. I would have physically paid the $100, $150, whatever the heck it was, to go in for my consultation. Most times when you pay the $100, $150, it's actually put towards the procedure should you hire that particular surgeon. So, but you know what? This is your face, ladies or men. So it's worth it. Go in, feel the vibe from that surgeon, look at some before and after pictures of his work, not just generic pictures posted on a website. Read the reviews, do your research, and pick the surgeon that you feel is best for you. You know, I don't want to say anything bad about my surgeon, but I definitely would have shopped around and I would have had more removed if it was possible, because I wouldn't be sitting here 6 years later wanting a revision. And that's essentially where I'm at. I want a revision because I've got this big fat thing here, like a fat pocket on this eyelid. And then this one is at the outer eye is starting to droop down again. So, you know, you probably only want to do this like once in your life if you have to, for cost and just for, you know, the psychological effects of it. I hear that revisions are a little more complicated. I am considering getting a revision done in the next year. I will ask them to be much more generous at taking skin out so I never have to do it again. God willing, I'm still here in my 80s or 90s. You know, I want my eyelid surgery to last as long as possible. So anyway, long story short, I hope that this has been helpful information for you. And if you're considering, you know, getting an upper blep done, it is worth it. Do your homework, do your research, pay the extra if, you know, that doctor's getting outstanding reviews. In terms of pain level, physically, for me, it was like a 2 out of 10. You know, like the whole thing was like a 2. Psychologically, it was up there. It was a 9. It took a bit. It took a minute to kind of get through the process because, you know, you're not really prepared for that. Looking at yourself and just seeing your face in such kind of shambles. I looked like I was in a boxing ring and lost every round during that boxing match. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching my channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more video content. And until next time, take care of yourself, take care of your skin, and remember, you've got this.